Future Paul here. Thank you for tuning into this Wantless 1.0 release day video. A couple of things before we get into the main bulk of it. I do have 3 keys for this game to give away. All you need to do is just leave a comment down below. It could be anything. It could be an F, it could be a W, it could be WTF. It doesn't really matter. Just comment down below to be in a chance to win a copy of the game. I say I have 3 keys to give away, just from some work I did previously in early access. If you could give me a like, that would be brilliant as well, just because, you know, if you're going to comment, please just hit that thumb. It really does help me out, and I'll say that again. And obviously, if you're enjoying the content, please subscribe to the channel. Nearly at 500 subscribers at the time of recording this. If we can tip this over to 500, that would be great. But yeah, let's get on with the actual game. So remember, comment down below to get a chance to win the game. Welcome back everybody to some more Wantless. Today we've got Facecam, and yeah, I'm glad to be back at Wantless. Today is the 16th of May and it is 1.0 release day for Wantless. So a game I've covered extensively in early access, and then I took the decision once obviously the roadmap was there to stop playing in early access and wait for 1.0 release, and today is that day. If we look back here, you can see here it says I played today, but I haven't played this game since probably January. At that point, a load of stuff came out and took the decision to, as I said, pause. We're going to do a fresh save for 1.0. They have recommended you do a fresh save for 1.0 release because there's lots of changes. So we're going to crack on and get into it. If you're interested, I have got some guides on the channel, link in the description down below if you're interested, as well as a link to the game if you're interested in this as well. So let's get back into Wantless, a game I really enjoyed when this came out back end of last year. So I've played it in about 55 hours already. So fingers crossed we can hit the ground running this one. But let's get going. Really pleased that we are here for for 1.0 release. Last report aired 6 years ago. 99.5% of us were gone. Wantlessness is a state of perfect fulfillment after all. Probably. They're quite a bunch, the Wantless. A quiet bunch, the Wantless. Most believe it's better than just living your life. Me? I desperately hope it's better than just dying. So I've obviously shown that I come back in, and that's just to test the face cam, make sure it's in a place where we're not covering too much. But pum, and you're in. Boy, it's fast asleep here. And he does look more cheerful on the inside. Nope, not exactly beaming either. Then again, he wouldn't ask to become Wantless if he was. Fair point. It's been a while. You feeling okay? I think so, but I could use your help remembering. So here we go. You can use. I'm using WASD here. You can also use the keys to do. But yeah, a game is an isometric game, obviously on tiles, and they're very much a strategy RPG. So we can move with a click, and we can just exit the room here. Ah, the wretch. Thoughts long abandoned, forgotten, not out of shame, growth, merely a lack of relevance. High melee damage, mobile. So here we are with Eiris. Wretches, forsaken thoughts, aggressive. Still see them as giant insects. Human-faced giant insects. You need therapy. So as you can see here, we've got action points at the bottom. Skills displayed here. Hover over them to get more information. We use action points to move and cast skills in combat. So you have, off the start anyway, 8 action points. There is ways later on in the game to get more than this. You can say move the mouse around to get here, but we're in tutorial land. We just zoom out here and move around. You've got your enemies. We've got our main person with 500 health. Health down here. You've got some stuff here. Here's a list of skills. I've got game speed set at times too, just to try and get things along pretty quickly. But as you can see here, with the 1, 2, 3 that we've got going, if we move here, it's going to take 4 action points, and you can see that it drains it down the bottom here. We now have a punch, which is just push them away here, or punch them away here, and then we can do it again, and they are done. Use space or press end turn to end your turn. This is mine's turn now, and you gave that boy a lot of work, a lot to work with. Brace. The more you act, the harder the mind retaliates. As you spend 8 action points, your enemies will also get to spend 8 action points. And this is one of the key things of the game. The more you move, the more you do, the more they'll come back and do. Sometimes in this game, less is more. So doing nothing or just moving away from danger is just as good as trying to do damage. So we come and he hits, and we do 174 damage. This guy is now going to try and leap. So if we come over here, that stops him from moving. And if we end our turn, as I've said, he moves forward 1. And I want to drop the game speed. 2 is a little bit quick at the moment. While we're in tutorial land, we'll go back to 1 here. And we'll just continue here. So now we can punch on the wretch twice. 32 damage and dead. Destroying an enemy restores 1 action point. Use this to press the advantage. We move over here. We get our 3. And now we can do a telekinesis. And this is the push that I thought. And if we push, you can see here this where it's going to end up and the splash damage that it's going to take. Boom. There we go. And again, lots of strategy in this game, and that's why I love it so much. But we got the neural pulse. We've got anger. Increase your hits damage and affliction damage by 20% for 5 turns. See to the exit. Again, nothing else here. So there's things here like interactables or just environmental things that will get in the way. And there's quite a lot of depth to this game. That's why I love it. And hopefully we're not blocking too much. There's something down the bottom here, but the patient wants are often heavily guarded. Neutralize whatever stands in your way to get to them. So move to designated position, and you've also got here your memories and also exploders here. So if we come here, as it dictates, again we're in the tutorial land at the moment, and if we click on this, you hover over it, we can restore 25% HP. It says over here on the screen. Okay, we're out of action points. Your turn automatically ends. So here we go. He is now going to hammer. The memory is destroyed, the patient's instability increases, empowering enemies and randomly altering combat layout. Should instability exceed the maximum, the patient will wake up, causing the operation to fail. There we go. Now we've got our turn. Push the forgotten ego onto the impulse. So what that means is, like we moved this one in the last zone, you can actually push people into them. And you can see there, it's going to go through. And it's done that, and it's now dormant. Cast dash to the designated area. So dash has a AP cost of 2. That's the slash. And also the hourglass looking thing is the cooldown. So if we move over here. There we go. And you can see here with the +2. That is what we've got. Waiting for that. And it tells you that next time we can use this telekinesis. So move to the designated position. We've got 2 AP. And we touch this memory to get some more health back. And there we go. End your turn. And here we go. Underneath the bar is all of the status effects that they're doing. So the dowsing impulses detonation cause your enemies to become dormant. Dormant enemies will not act for the duration of the effect or until damaged. So if we examine. So as you see there, many such persistent effects exist. Use Alt and allow left mouse button. So you can see if I push Alt, we get this magnifying glass. And here we go. Finish the fight as you see fit. The memory near the forgotten ergo restores AP. It's got 195 damage. It takes less damage from fear and bleed. I can't remember what the others are off the top of my head, to be perfectly honest. But I do have a guide for that, so I probably should look at my own guide here. So we've got 8 points here. And if I come over here, this restores 4 AP. So if I come over here, it's going to do 4 AP. This is explodes doing pain damage, so I could move here, which I will do. And then we're going to push him. And as you saw there, the dormant is minus. And over here is immune to disarm, silence, numb, dormant, and daze for 5 turns. So you can't just constantly spam stuff, which is really, really good. And then we've also got infliction damage up and the hit damage up. Up here, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if he wants to come to me, then it can't. But if I move here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and because of the 2 here, that's 7, he can probably attack. So we will end our turn here and let him come to me. He's got 1 point. The enemy has leftover action points. It will use stockpile. Stockpile reserves all remaining AP +1 for the enemy's next turn. There we go. He's got 2 points already. So if I do nothing, he has 2 turns. So what we're going to do is we're just going to bump him again. And then what I will do is move here. And let's see if he attacks. Yep, see he's got 2 points left. And he's stockpiled. That's really good. So how much health has he got left? He's got 28. If we punch and if you hover over it, it deals 30 to 40 pain damage. I punch him. Down he goes. I could have regained the HP, but yeah. There are the boys want, ready to lend him into this blissful slumber. So you can do that. It's fine. And if we come over here and take this. There's the objective complete. Patient was abscessized, vitals are stable, remaining stress level 0, pulling you back out now. Let's extract. Thankfully as well, it's pretty poor in the UK today, so behind me it's not too light. If it gets too light, then I can shut my shutters a bit more here. But this is the end screen, so this is what happens when you've completed. We've got some dull anchor, so it brings you back to life with 25 HP. Going to use a lot of them. We've got this due oscillation, a tier 2 efficiency common, discipline weight of 13. All this stuff will come a bit later. But if I wanted to use this, it has a 2 AP cost with a 1 cooldown and it has no additional power bonus. So yeah, if I use this for 2, I can't use this every turn because it's got the 1. So the best is sort of 2 and 0, especially off the start. And then we've got, let's just clear this. We've got a strike, so we can deal 40 to 60 fear damage. And then we've got this aerial, so that's a bit more of an AoE. And it's a really, really good one to have, especially off the start. You don't have to be right next to them to do stuff. We've got our sort of currency and our XP. So let's proceed. And Ewan is done. So Godspeed, Ewan. Welcome back. You did well. He's asleep now for good. I know transposing gets really intense. I'll get him to a nearby cradle. You gotta get some rest. So each battle takes a day. So you're sort of going forward, you'll see things like you need X amount of days to do stuff. And basically that is a battle. Hey, morning. Are you alright? I think so. Happy for the boy. I'm expecting patients today. Word of an abundant transposing lab spreads like a damn pandemic. Some are already waiting. Before you get back into it, you've got some synapses from the patient's mind maze. Let's do some neural foraging together. It'll help you deal with a horde of wimps. So yeah, move on to day 2. A new day has dawned. We've got 3 new items, no learning points. Current discipline. So discipline is almost like your mana pool. A lot of the abilities that we're going to build cost discipline to apply them to your build. So I've got 1500 and I'm currently using 1360. So if I went to try and put a 3000 cost on, I just can't because I don't have that discipline ready for me. But again, it all comes together quite nicely shortly. We're just going to set the objectives here. And we've got to open the neural forge and craft your first skill. There she is. 6 years, huh? Let me try and jog your memory. As a transposer, the neural forge is your most important tool. It combines special data components, synapses, into custom skills that you can use during transposition. I think I'll find my way through the machine's interface. Be my guest. I was pretty bad at it back then. So, there are 3 types. Synapse all required to form new skills. Form synapses determine the skill's range, shape, and the number of effects it can apply. So you need to left mouse button on the aerial synapse 1, the one with the big exclamation mark. As you can see here, that's that cross in the distance. So we'll click that, and everyone that has a similar one like that, you have here, all of different rarities. So we'll put that in. Then you have the effects. So this is what it does. So this is the build up of it. So I'm going to do this cross somewhere in advance. I've then got this strike that we've got. This one obviously does 40 to 60 damage. And it's a strike, and we know it's the fear. and in we go. Again, this can have up to 2, but the more you have on, the more discipline it will cost. Lastly, efficiency snaps determine your skills action points cost and cooldowns. If we come into here, short isolation synapse sets your skill cost AP cost to 2 and a cooldown of 1. So we click on this. It's like I could do this one here, which is 2 but with a 3-turn cooldown. Why would I not want to use this? But as you can see here, the discipline weight is 13, and if I was to be able to go into here, the discipline weight would probably be a bit less. But let's do it. And there we go. Once at least one synapse of each type is slotted, the resulting skill will be previewed on the right. There we go. So we get Fear Missile for 40 to 60, and it hits in that cross. So everything in that cross will take 40 to 60 fear damage. From top to bottom, it's customizable name and icon, AP cost cooldown, its effects, range, and casting preview. Fortunately, previewed skill to proceed. Bong. There we go. And we've got Fear Missile. Okay, then we need to open the skills tab and we need to equip. So everything you've got is sat here. It says your equip skills display here. These are the ones you'll be taking into transposition. And this is our discipline. Discipline is the resource used to equip skills. So it doesn't have any impact to how much, when you're actually out in a transposition, you know, whether you've got 1 discipline left or 14,000, it doesn't really matter. This is just about putting all of the skills on this bar, and once this bar is in, it makes no difference. A skill's discipline cost is determined by its synapse. Stronger synapses lead to higher discipline costs, as I've said. A skill for 1-turn cooldown will have a lower discipline cost than a similar skill with no cooldown, for example. Should reserve discipline exceed your maximum discipline, you won't be able to transpose. So just click on that. Boom, there we go. And actually it's a drain, so that's how much we're using. So we've got 1,130 left. Let's go and do another one. Make it a healing skill to compensate for your habit of getting your ass kicked. Forge and equip a healing skill. So we're going to go into form here and we're going to do inner. So this can only target ourselves. You can do inners on other abilities as well. Not inners, healings on others. So you could do a cross, and as long as it's on us. But generally you just want to do this. Then we go into the effect. We want the cure, so that's going to cure 120 to 160, and it targets just allies. So if you were to have it on a cross and there's enemies in that cross, the enemies won't get healed. And then we're going to do this 2 to 3. The 3-turn cooldown for a heal basically is what we've just got. If we go into skills, equip that now, and see it comes down. So we need to transpose today's patient. So we go into the patients, and across the top here is obviously your menu of stuff. So patients is where we are, Neuroforge where we were, equipment we'll come on to, mind tree is your skill tree, dealer's shop is just a shop, a map, and transposers log. So yeah, there is that. You can only time transpose 1 patient, the others won't come back, choose wisely. Look at your patient's tier, mind realm, request and rewards to determine who you want to transpose. Today's patients only differ in reward. So we've got Rowan Morgan, Arabelle Holloway, Solace Carrington. And you get a preview of everything you want here. So we would get a diagonal. So it can hit anything that's 2 away. I can't really do it on here, but that doesn't mean it has to be 2 away. It can be 1 away from us or right next to us. So that's mindful to do. There's a strike, so grief damage, so maybe we want that to get pain, fear and grief. Or we could poison, so poison inflicts 28 to 42 grief damage per turn for 3 turns. So effectively if we hit the top rank of that, you're looking at 120 odd damage, and then you get this synapse. Pretty good one actually, I quite like that. Strike for pain we've already got. Blunt decreases hit damage dealt by 10%, so that's putting a 10% weak on a character. And that's also shuddering, so everything around us will get hit. This one is a little bit further away, but again you look at the discipline weight of 6 for that one, and that's only 5, so it's going to cost a little bit more because we can push it a little bit further away. That's fear damage and break again, so I think we're going to go for here to get this poison. I did quite like poison, so we need to then look at what we've got here. So it's tier 1 Forsaken Nightmare. So you've got to kill 1 lesser sprite here, 1 lesser sprite here, and 1 lesser sprite here. This will change going forwards of what we want, but I want poison, so we're going to go against poison here. While exploring, you might bump into rare enemies that yield rare rewards. They also hit like trucks, so you need to be mindful of that. Patient request, your objective is displayed here with its current status. So kill one lesser sprite, and once we've seen and killed a lesser sprite, you can hover over this to see what it's like. Now this is the start. As we go forwards as well, there will be other areas unlocked, so you can go like deeper into their mind. The deeper you go, the harder enemies hit, but the rewards are better. So we're going to go here, and if we just hover over it, you can see here where there's sort of the crosshairs. Next to crosshairs is there a lesser sprite here? With the naught there, it means there's no lesser sprite. So if we come in, here we go. So that's a lesser strife. It's not a sprite. Long range damage keeps its distance. So they're going to talk to us about line of sight here. Most patients' minds ignore your presence if left alone, though some exceptions tread silently to remain concealed. You're currently concealed, as it says here. Ignore us. To remain concealed, you must spend limited AP each turn. Drawing too close to an enemy, attacking or preserving a memory will also lead to detection. Approach the nearest lesser strife without going over the AP threshold or letting it detect you. So if I come here, you can see here the concealed limit is 5. So I've got 5 left. I've got 4, 3, 2, 1, and that is, as you can see here, I'm going to be seen. So we're going to come here. And then we end our turn. And they've just lost. Because I'm concealed, they don't stockpile. Right. So if we now use this fear missile, and you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, so I can just push 4. And you can see here, bang, this is what it is. So we'll do this. And then if I click on this, you see I can't do anything. So we'll just push 2 again to unlock it. We'll move up. And if we punch, he's dead. There we go. Most range skill casting is limited by an entity's current line of sight, including yours. Tall objects break line of sight. When faced with ranged enemies, ending your turn outside their line of sight can help you approach safely. Hover over an enemy to display their current line of sight. You can see here we're in that dark, so he's not going to attack us. He's going to move. That's good. Now we need to get over there as quickly as we can without spending as much AP. And this is where dash really, really helps. So we dash to here, only costs 2 AP. Can't use this just yet. So if I was to move to here, that gives me 3. If I hover over, you can see I'm going to get hit here. That's 3, that's 3. And telekinesis on this one is not going to do too much. But pushes the target away for 5 tiles, dealing at minuscule pure damage. Pure damage is really good because you'll start dealing with things like shields eventually, and pure damage is basically the bypass of a shield. So we're going to come up here and just punch him. Because why not? We'll end our turn. He has to move because his range is not good enough. Now if I hover over here and come here, you can see I can't attack. So we're 1, 2 away. So I was to be able to come down 2 here. So we'll just tap 4 again. I can now hit here and he's dead. Now we've got 2, so heal up to 35% of your max HP, but we haven't been hit, and we've got no negative effects, so we're not going to do that. And increase your hit damage and affliction damage by 20% for 5 turns. So we're going to do that. Room is cleared, you become concealed again. And there's some really, really good abilities that you can get to worry about concealment. So one that I really, really was liking was one where when you kill, you go into concealment. And that is really, really powerful. So that's a wretch, and we've got a wretch, and we've still got a lesser strife, so it's not the lesser sprite. So if I move to here, now, again, I need to be mindful of here. So they're all 6s, but sometimes, like if I come here, he will spot me because I'm right next to him. So we're just going to move here. And, yep, away they go. If I fear him, there we go. Mind your step. Tile effects such as carcasses apply to entities that step on them. Hover over them to know what they do. So come over here. So for me, as an ally, inflicts 1 intoxicate stack. For enemies, it grants them swell. Swell is a status effect that increases their maximum HP. But what we're going to do, we're going to come over here And I am going to bump him for 5 damage there, and then we'll end. Again, he now moves up. He moves away. So what I'm going to do here is punch. So if I hover over this guy, you can see this tile here, he can't see me. So I'm going to punch. I'm going to punch. And then I'm going to move. And I'm going to end my turn. Now, one of the good things here is dashing. So if I dash, you can see here, it's not a teleport, so I will go through the tile effects. So it's telling me how it's going to happen. So if I was to go here, I would take damage. Here, I won't. So we're going to do that. And then we can hit here. And down he goes. Heal up to 50%, don't need to. Increase your hit chance and infliction damage for 5 turns. Absolutely, let's keep that going. And you can see here now in the waymarked route that there is a 1, so we know the lesser sprite is there. There it is. In its faintest form, hatred is usually associated with specific targets. Even at such low intensities, the repressed wish that something or someone would suffer is easier hidden than cleansed. Extreme charge damage keeps its distance. So if I come up close to him, he will try and go away. And I've got this guy here. So we move here. And then what I'm going to do is just end, because there's no point doing anything there. Fear missile. And then I can't telekinesis because it's out of range. I can't punch because it's out of range. So I'll move up and we'll punch. And then what we'll do, we'll move out of the way. And now you can see we've got murder. Some enemy skills such as the Wretch's leap charge for a number of turns before they cast. Certain charge attacks are targeted on a specific target. Targeted skills cannot be dodged and unaffected by line of sight. Prevent a targeted skill from hitting its target by interrupting the caster with a push or other disabling effects. So, yeah. Let's just move up. He's going to sort of try and hit me here. So we're going to dash, because that's more effective. And the good thing about here, it tells you whether or not you've got the AP or stuff to do what you need to do. And he's got one more turn before he's going to unleash it. So we're just going to move up. He's going to shoot us. And there we go. The connection between the mind and the patience is thinning. Eiris, you okay? Yeah, this guy's mind maze feels a little unfair. Sort of loser. You can use a neural anchor to re-establish the connection. That is a guaranteed one, by the way. You have to take that hit. So now showing reconnecting more than once consumes an increasing amount of awareness. Awareness is a special resource acquired by destroying enemies. You exceptionally have been granted a lot of awareness. So let's revive. There we go. Reconnecting resets your enemies' action points. Finish them off before they disconnect you again. Awareness is here, by the way. So I can't do too much. So we're going to come up. And I'm just going to punch. He will try and move away. And I'm just going to drop a heal, because why wouldn't we? If we move here, and then I can use this fear missile to drop the kill. There we go. That is done. And all undesirables eliminated. Good work, Mastermind. Putting you back now. That transposition is successful. So we've got one learning point, which is a skill point. We get plus 30 HP, which is good, and some more discipline. So you get a lot of discipline from just leveling up, and there are other ways that you can increase that discipline. We've got the rewards that we looked at, so let's proceed. And by successfully transposing your patient, you've earned reputation. Increasing your reputation grants multiple perks and is required to travel further. So you have to get to a certain level and kill a certain amount of enemies before you can move on to the next zone. That's basically what that means. So Godspeed. So we need to get 30. And you get more than one normally. Just heard a noise. Apologies about that. Pretty close call, this one. Failing is fine, though. Patients know that what they're getting into. Transposition success rate used to be pretty low. You've earned some reputation here in Dumpstead. You won't be able to travel further until you're at least tolerated. So, move on to day 3. So we've got 4 new items, 1 learning point. And then morning. What's up with you? Lots. You've got some new synapses we can improve your skills with. And I might have gotten the mind tree up and running again. Ready to become who you could be. And again, one of my favourite aspects of this game is this mind tree. Brings you back, huh? Each corner of the mind tree is associated with a different combat style, but feel free to mix them together. Don't worry too much about choosing your path. You can always use a few ponder shards to change your mind later on. And ponder shards are your sort of skill tree reset, and they are 10 to the dozen. It's not going to hide you behind a lot of that stuff. So don't need to worry about too much. Open your forge and to reforge a skill. So we can't do this because we need a precious mind key. What we can get is maybe plus 10 health and plus 5% affliction damage. Affliction damage is, I think that is like your poisons of the world. You get 20 plus health. We can get 3% range hit damage dealt. So that cross that we built is 3% more potent. Or we can just get some more discipline. And what I would recommend you doing is just zooming out here and having a look around on what you want to do. So like if I was to get this discipline, I could come down here and get plus 10 awareness gain meter. Again, as we just seen, awareness gain is more enemies you kill, the more awareness you get. And if you die, then it uses that awareness. So awareness is pretty important, especially for some of the harder ones. You get plus 1 to starting awareness, which is good. I could come over here to get some more discipline, and you gain 3 health for every 100 discipline. Pretty decent start. But what I'd recommend you doing is just look a little bit further out than that. So if I come to here, I can come into here and grab this unbending discipline. Unit allies have unbending discipline, causing you to start every turn with at least 1 overcharge per 5,000 done. And overcharge stack excess AP to spend before your actual AP. So I can then get 9 AP per 5,000 discipline. So if I use 10,000, I can get 2 off the start. Quite potent. Boundless Ambition, removing the affliction from an enemy before it expires, deals its remaining damage all at once. It's pretty good. So as you start to inflict more and more afflictions, some will roll off because you can only have a certain amount of afflictions together at once. And I think that is here somewhere. Yeah, maximum simultaneous afflictions is 2. So if I try and put a third on, it will get rid of 1. So that's pretty good. Quite like the sound of that. That's new, I think. With an additional maximum HP equal to 500% of your combined extra pain, fear, and grief damage stats. Okay. Allies gain limitless stacks. When AP is spent, they grant 5% of all damage per stack. Resets every turn. I quite like the sound of this, so I think that's where we're going to head off towards. You could look wider as well if you really want to. 5% hit damage per distance to your targets. The further away it is, the more it gets done. Plus 5% maximum hit damage per distance to your target. Melee damage you and your allies deal is reduced to 1. So that punch that we're doing goes down to 1. So yeah, you instantly would just take that off. Movement skills have their minimum cooldown reduced by that of their movement effect. Your health is reduced. Melee hits echo an additional time for 20% of initial damage. Reduces total health by 20%. Afflictions that you and your allies inflict tick on application 50% of their damage. It's not bad. Enemies spread their afflictions on death within 2 range. Very good. Enemies killed with an awakened skill grant triple awareness. That's very much later. Your efficiency synapse power bonus is doubled. So that is really, really good. So if we were to go back to what we built, so there's a power sort of bonus that you can apply on some of the base stuff that isn't there. But as you get the more rare synapses, you get power bonus, and that's doubled. So 10% will go to 20%, so on and so forth. But I quite like this. So we're going to probably go for an affliction build then. So we're going to come here, get the 5% affliction damage dealt and 10 health. Just confirm to allocate your learning points or revert to cancel. We will confirm. So yeah, we've got just 10 health. That's good. Let's head over to the Neural Forge. Synapses aren't lost when used to compose skills. Clicking on an existing skill to swap its synapses or disassembling the skill to reuse its components. So you basically can break them down at no penalty, which is really, really good. Transpose patients to earn reputation in dumb stead. So we've got this diagonal one, which is good. So we'll push that on. The effect, I'm going to put a poison on. And I'm also going to put this strike on as well, which is grief damage. Efficiencies 2+1. And you can see here on this bar, and I should have said this before, you can see that this is coming down. If this turns red, you don't have enough discipline, but we do for this one, so we'll forge. If we show the skills, we can now just equip that. And there we go. Over to the patients. We'll do one more before we wrap things up for today. Abscessize a patient's lesser regrets. Again, haven't seen a less regret or haven't unlocked the transposer log yet. So what we've got, concentrate. Increases affliction damage by 10% for 3 turns. Not bad. Fragilize. We like fragilize. Inflicts fragilize, dealing 10 to 14 pain damage every time the target takes damage for 3 turns. So drop that down first, and then every time we hit it for whatever, it does 10 to 14 damage. Now think the one where we pushed it away and it's doing minuscule damage every single time it's going. That's going to do 10 to 14 damage each time, so pretty potent. Fragilize. Wall is not bad as well. Daze, very good. So if I was to spend 2 AP a turn on an enemy, they can't just lose that. So that is also good. But we get our punch. Costs 2 AP, range 1, but does 30 to 40. 30 to 40 pain. 30 to 40 grief. I'm probably going to go for this one. Because I do like Fragilize. So we're going to go here. I think Fragilize is a really good ability off the start anyway. But I love this game. Love, love, love this game. So, ready to dive a little deeper. Exploring your patient's subconscious grants you insight. The more insight, more data, more rewards. It's uncharted territory, though. Exploring the minds is pretty dangerous. If you feel like the patient's request is at risk, get back to the way you marked route. I designed that path to be as safe and direct as possible. So, come out here. Exploring the patient's subconscious grants you the best rewards. You can always get back to the way marked route after exploring. So, you can't really see it here, but there's sort of 6 tiers behind here. So you get 1 insight, you get more resource, +3 enemy drop rate, +15. And it wants me to go deeper here. And if there was a lesser regret in here, it would also see it. But let's go. Obsession pod. Thoughts aren't usually born forsaken or toxic, but some parts of you have developed a habit of spitting only the most worthlessness of seeds. Spawns enemies. Whenever you explore, patient instability permanently increases by 1. Permanent instability cannot be lowered. The patient's subconscious has bred unstable memories. Preserve them quickly as they collapse after a few turns, generating instability, which is this here. So, we're still concealed, which is nice. We'll move here, and we'll just end the turn. Because I'm concealed. 1 unstable memories burst, and 2, so we can break. And then we will move here. Actually, that's 3. So let's just come here first. I don't think I can get this. No, there is a way to hit that. So let's just come here. And we'll do this. And phase away after 3 turns, increasing instability. Here we go. We've got that. Now, let's do something like this. There's some AP back. And again, this is where it comes. Now, you can see here, they've only got 1 AP ever. So the more I use in this instance, it's not that bad. So we can probably just punch here. You can see here, carcass and foul ground. So let's move here. And here they come. So the other good thing about the game is, you know, this interactions of the terrain just goes up and down. So you can't go, yeah, I'm just going to come through here because these might do. And the other thing about these is it's going to spawn an enemy in one of these zones. So for this one, for instance, it's going to be here or it's going to be here. So, and again, because this is a single target and not a cross like this one, I have to come here to hit it. What's that damage? It's not good enough. Okay. So we'll hit that. There's some AP. That's 3 points to there. Punch. And then move back here, I think. And now we've got this wretched summon. So I can now jump to here. And then I should be able to do this. And there we go. Room complete. Lovely. Gain unyielding, so immune to stun, root, and push and pull. And tenacious. Resist the next non-pure damage death blow. Very, very good. You can get an ability for that as well. So I get some heals. Don't need to heal. So there's that. 2 seconds. So we're going to gain unyielding here. And we gained 1 insight. The deeper you explore, the more insight you earn. In the deepest I can currently... This is the deepest I can currently get you, though. We'll explore more today. The patient's request awaits on the way-marked route. Clear and explore rooms grants you insight. Hover over the insight gauge for more information, as I said. Boss requests require you to deal with a single powerful enemy. It can be faced immediately upon starting transposition. So enter the boss room. And again, can't get rid of that, which is annoying. So let's just go. Again, there's nothing here. If I'd have killed them all, I could have come back afterwards and got this. But there's the boss room. And you could explore depth 1. So you could keep doing this again to get more. But we're just going to go over and deal with the boss. Here it is, the lesser regret. And while it's doing that, I'll have a little sip of coffee because, you know, all the talking I'm about to do is going to be, yeah, need to keep fluid. But anyway, lesser regret. Permanent toxic stacks, spawns enemies, terrain soiling, poison, cannibal. So cannibal means it will eat its friends. So here we go. So what I tend to do on these ones is just take a look at the map, see if there's any instabilities that we need to deal with, which there's not. Come over here, we're going to get 1 extra patient reward and obtain 1 that's still catalyst. And you can see there, if we go down to 3 insight, you get a ponder shard, and you'll be able to get down there pretty quickly. So again, same things apply here. So if I go for a 4, and then end the turn, what's he going to do? Rot. Toxic thoughts hidden rather than dealt with. They're still there, silently rotting, growing. Terrain soiling explodes on death, so we don't want to be close to it. Poison. And then there's that swell. So let's... I think we'll move here. We'll fear. And then I will put poison on. And now it's going to hit me. So I'm intoxicated. And what are you going to do? Okay, now surrounded. Which is pleasant. So I'm going to take 17 damage per turn here. So. And again, this thing explodes on death. So you can see here that it's not ideal. So I'm going to dash. And then I will probably push here and end. You're going to taint me, so another intoxicate. Now, he has a shield. Immune to any attacks of all effects and cannot act for 3 turns. So I need to take these things down as well. It's a shame that's there. Probably should move one, punch. Poison him. Does it say? So he's got 38 damage. So he's going to die. So we'll move here and we'll punch. And we'll end our turn. Some entities like rots burst on death, dealing damage to their surroundings, trying to destroy them around memories. Yeah, but also got this, so. Let's... Can't dash just yet. No memories here. We'll just move up. Let's move here. Gonna drop a heal actually. Need him to come off impervious. Keep these on cooldown. And you can see there he cleared that poison. And there's that cannibalize. So there's no more enemies going to be spawning here. And we know already that that stops that block. And then we can hit. And he's dead. So we'll stop. We'll move here. I will dash to here. Do some fear damage on him. Charge skill hits all positions marked in red after a set number of turns. Look for safe spots to avoid their devastating attacks. So, how are we going to deal with this? If I come over here, I'm going to get 5% of my max HP done. So we're going to move up. And we're going to punch him. And now he's dormant as well. And then... could just kill him. We'll move up as far as we can. He's dormant, so he's not moving. He's still dormant for another turn. He's got 47. This could kill it. And it does. Nice. Undesirable neural activity ceased. Nice job putting you back out. And this is just like the base of it. It gets so detailed. Then we've got here the knowledge shards. Experience up to level 3. We've got 30 more HP. Got a captured memory. We've got a toxin regulator. So it's a trinket. We'll come to them in a moment. And still catalyst required for advanced fusions and equipment alterations. We've got fragilize and there's concentrate. So it says here we can choose 2. So I'm going to choose fragilize. And then we've got a punch that's okay. So we're just going to do concentrate here. So Caleb Rayner, I won't forget this. And say there's 3. Up to day 4. Obtain some new equipment. So let's go to the equipment tab. And here we go. Equipment is a special kind of data that lets you alter Eiris' stats in transposition. Check on them often. So we click on this, we get 14% affliction damage. And it comes into here. You can get a couple of other things here. And if you want to change your skins, you know, that's there. Go to the mind tree, we've got another point. And let's say I'm going to head towards this. So we could get 10 wound damage, 10 fragilize. Again, wound, very, very good. whenever the target moves. Or oppress and hyper empathy deals fear damage to the target whenever the caster spends AP. So the more they spend, more AP they spend, the more they get damaged, which is really, really good. So if you're spending all of your 8 AP, they're going to spend that 8 AP and it hits them all the time. And hyper empathy deals fear damage to the target whenever the caster takes health damage. So as you move them, or as you take them, they do extra bonus damage. I'm going to take this wound and fragilize, then we'll head this way in there. Probably pop round and... Oh, you don't need to pop round, you can come here as well. Because I wouldn't mind getting this as well. I think wound and fragilize does 80 less damage to you. I think that is. Cool. Move down to there. And yeah, Rimmer's done. Neural Forge. So we've got this. Effect order matters. Pushing and damaging isn't the same as damaging and pushing. Yeah. So you want to put on, like if you had a skill that does damage when you're pushing them, you want to put the damage skill on first and then the push. Is there. So you've got health here. You come onto the effect. We could put this on. But this crafter skill has a minimum cooldown of 3. So my form currently has a cooldown of 3 as well. So if I was to come in here, say this had a minimum cooldown of 4, and I was to put this on, then it would change the cooldown to 4. So you can't circumnavigate that. It's the cooldown is the highest denominator of the cooldown on the skill. But we're going to forge this, which is really, really good. And because I've done a skill that's already equipped, it already stays. Now, we've got this push. Where is it? Telekinesis. We want to push that into there. Because I want this fragilize to come here. So it's going to put fragilize on first, and then it's going to push it. So, again, it deals minuscule damage. But if I'd have done the push, then fragilize, it will push it one tile, then fragilize. So, just need to be a bit mindful of that. And we'll craft a skill, dissembler, the following skill, telekinesis. Yeah. And we've got the snapping, repelling, shock, which is useful. And the skills, because I've done them. So, yeah, so we've got nascent confusion, sours, or lesser regret. And I haven't unlocked the transposer log, and when you do, you can do that. But what's this? Strike for 41 to 61, 6% affliction resistance, control chip for more discipline, 5 AP, 1 cost, and there's that power bonus we were talking about earlier. So we can double that, so that put up to 40% power bonus with 5% discipline cost, so everything in there costs 5% less. Diagonal, pretty good. 12% range damage, that's decent. That's wound would be nice, and another dash maybe. Twin. 6% power to heal effects. That's not as good. Strike is okay, actually. That's some good damage in there. And that's a push. We'll go for this wound. So if I want more than one of these, so choose one, I'd have to go deeper to get able to get all of them. That's our token reward and that XP of 42. So I think next time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take on Oliver Hull, sorry. And the main priority here is to get wound level 1, because I say wound and fragilize together is proper decent. But yeah, this has been Wantless. This is the 1.0 release. If you're interested in my initial sort of blind early access playthrough, that's on the channel, and I'll probably have this on an end screen as well if you want to do that. There's some guides on the channel as well if you want to check them out. Again, probably will be on there as well. And yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. It really does help me out. Wantless is a game I've been looking forward to for this release, and I hope you're here for the journey as well. In the meantime, I'll see you all in the next one.